When the narcissist knows they lost, yet again. Think about that for a minute. So you're learning about narcissism, and you're learning that the narcissist doesn't want to lose. What you don't know is that they lose way more often than you've ever even considered. But they didn't want you to know that. You see, the narcissist keeps secrets. The narcissist hides who they really are. The narcissist wears many different masks, and the narcissist will target whoever they deem to have what they need, which is known as supply. Now, supply can be a pet, a plane, a train, it can be a phone, it can be a relationship, it can be stealing money. Supply can be anything, and that's what fuels the narcissist. It is not relationships, it is what the relationships provide for the narcissist. Now, what do relationships provide for these narcissists? They provide cover. They provide a way to blend into the fabric of society. They provide an excuse for their poor behavior. They also have people doing things for them to make excuses for them. I'm referring to the narcissist. You see, when you are trapped in a narcissistic relationship and you don't know what narcissism is, you are spinning around in that washing machine of abuse. You eventually get stranded on an island of toxicity in a very, very deep ocean of manipulation. And you are surrounded by nothing, and I mean nothing but a black cloud of toxicity. Now, I just painted a quick illustration of what happens to you when you're in a narcissistic relationship. And that's what happened to me. And I can assure you that's what happened to you. Remember, you were not taught this in school. You were not educated formally on human behavior, i.e. narcissistic individuals or narcissistic personality disorder. The key word there is disorder. Think about what I'm mentioning to you. If the narcissist didn't have a disorder, you and I don't meet. I don't get discarded, and I don't even figure out what narcissism is. However, that's not reality. Reality is more and more people on the planet are breaking the chains and breaking the ties from the narcissist. More and more people are believing in themselves, and more people are realizing that they are winning, or that they've already won, and that the narcissist, yes, they have lost because they are nothing. And I do mean nothing but a parasite looking for a host. Now, while I shared the video, in the beginning of the video, I mentioned to you that the narcissist didn't want you knowing that they had experienced losses over and over again before they met you. It's because you need to remember this. The narcissist, when they have a target lined up, they have to come at a position of authority or of victimhood or shaming or blaming. What the narcissist needs to do, and this is what they do, and they're very good at it until they're not, is playing on people's heartstrings, guilting them, shaming them, blaming them, having these people feel sorry for them. And if the narcissist knows that you have empathy within you or you have the ability to love, they will target that all day long because the narcissist doesn't have that. However, they know how to steal it from other people, and they know how to weaponize it against somebody who does possess empathy or love. That's not even counting everything else, money, time, all these things. But what the narcissist is beginning to understand all over this planet called Earth is that their days are numbered. And this isn't just rhetoric. This isn't just one person who continues to create videos each and every day and pay it forward to help you get the clarity that you never got. It's the truth, because more and more people are not only watching narcissistic videos, but more and more people are beginning to realize that they have everything they've ever wanted within themselves. And more people are beginning to stop looking externally into another person to fill their cup. They are now looking inwardly. And that's what I've done. When you are looking for something within someone to fill a void within yourself, or if way back when you were looking to find your soulmate or your yin to your yang or the person that completed you, etc., because let's say, as an example, that's what you were told or taught when you were younger with Disney movies or romantic movies from the 80s and 90s, etc. Well, you thought that everything ended happily ever after. And there was a white picket fence and the two dogs and the two kids and the puppies and the rainbows. And well, that's not reality. What is reality is Disney, Hollywood, etc. That is just that. It's fantasy. Now, some of the things that they create have an element of reality. Some are actually documented and portrayed to be reality. But what is real is your life. And that's why I create videos every day to pay it forward, to help you understand that you don't need the narcissist. You don't need toxicity. You don't need to be communicating with someone who doesn't even care about you. You should stop writing checks to a person, and this is a metaphor, could be literal or figurative. Stop writing checks to a person who flat out is using you They are literally using you, no matter what you think. Now, what does using mean? Well, let's go back. I don't think I've ever even drilled into what using is. Using means you have something that you need to get another job done. Example, you want to wash your car. Well, you need a hose, you need water, you need soap, and you need a little elbow grease to clean up the car, right? Well, when you're done cleaning the car, you have used the soap, the detergent, the cleaning rags and all that, and what do? You put them in a closet and you don't use them until the next time you want to clean your car. That's what the narcissist does with people. And that's what they've been doing long before you figured out what narcissism was. And that's what they'll be doing long after this video has been created. The narcissist is a coward. They are a bully, they are a con artist, and they know what they're doing. They also know that they continue to lose in this thing called life, although they don't want people knowing that. If you ever had the ability to take a peek at the narcissist without a cell phone, without any attention or adoration from another human being, and let's say the narcissist was literally by themselves in a house and there was no entertainment, no music, no phone, nothing, you would see one of the saddest sights that you've ever seen in your life, which means the narcissist would be out of their mind because they don't have distractions to keep their tiny little pea brain satiated. And that is exactly why the narcissist does what they do, because they know that they're always running from the past. They're always running from the Grim Reaper. They're running from Father Time. They're running from the truth. They were running from you. And this is why the narcissist will always be on the run. They're always going to be looking over their shoulder and trying to figure out how you got away, how you healed, how you put yourself back together, how you saw behind the mask, and how come they couldn't finish you off. Well, they couldn't finish you off because the narcissist, again, I'll tell you for the third or fourth time in this video, they lose. They don't win. They want you thinking that they won. Think about this. When you were discarded, well, if you were discarded, my heart goes out to you, but if you were discarded, you thought that the narcissist just got the new supply and they went off in a horse and carriage and they rode off into the sunset, didn't you? Yeah, of course you did, because that's what they wanted you thinking. That is not what happened. What happened is the narcissist crawled and slithered their way, dragging the new supply to wherever they would try to drag the new supply to. The new supply may have thought they just won the lottery, or may have just found a 20,000 pound nugget of gold. What they just found was a 20,000 pound nugget of fool's gold, which is pyrite, and it's worthless. And the narcissist knows that. But what the narcissist does is they took the best they could from you, crumbled you up like a sheet of paper, threw you away in the freeway by a discard, wash, rinse, repeat, inserted the new supply, wanted to twist the knife and you simultaneously love bomb / groom the new supply, and here we go. Well, you are different than everyone else. You figured it out. That's why you realize, or when you do realize, that you need to go no contact and block that person. And the sooner you do it, the better off you will be. When you realize that, then yeah, you realize that the narcissist is nothing but a predator. They are scared of everything. They have the loudest voice, and they won't change. One of the key instrumental parts of every video I create is hammering this part home. The narcissist won't ever change. The only thing they do change is the mask they wear, or the skin follicles that are getting older and older every single day that they're on this planet. Aside of that, their behaviors, the mentality, their lack mindset, it's all in place and it stays the same. And so when you realize that the narcissist lost yet again, it's because this is what these people do. They continue to have the loudest voice in the room. When I say that, I do mean at times literally and figuratively, but also remember, the narcissist can control a room without even saying a word. Play that part of the video and play it multiple times. I will say that again. The narcissist can control a room without even saying a word. You probably didn't know that, did you? Well, now you do. And you may say, I didn't know that, but you're right. How do you know that? Well, because I was in many rooms where the narcissist was controlling the room without even saying a word. That's why you need to get away from these people. The narcissist is a ticking time bomb. They're a sinking ship, and they know what they're doing. I've been saying that for almost 6 years. You need to get the message. You need to go no contact and block them. Now again, if you can't go no contact or block them, I get it. Get ready to create, develop, and execute your exit plan. But anyway you look at it, you need to get away from the narcissist. And these people, the narcissists, they're not going to ever apologize. They're not going to introspect. They're not going to be accountable. And they're going to do nothing but stay stuck in that loop that just keeps going around and around and around. And the one common denominator in the narcissistic abusive cycle, it's the narcissist. It wasn't you. You never had the problems you had with the narcissist with another person. I can assure you, you didn't. Because other people that you were close with or other people that you encountered, they didn't target you. They weren't envious of you. They weren't jealous of you. They didn't want to destroy your life. You see, when the narcissist saw you, they looked at the way you walked, the way you talked, the way you wore your clothes, the way people respected you, the way you were just yourself. And they said, no, can't have this one. This one's stealing too much oxygen from the room, getting too much attention, or they're too authentic or too genuine. I need to drop them down a few pegs. And that's why you were targeted. I've been targeted my whole life. And if you think that I wasn't, you need to think again, because this is what happens with people who have a high level of empathy or who have high value, definitely with people who don't have boundaries and with people who are uneducated on narcissism. And I was all of those people. Keyword is was. I didn't know that other people actually were jealous or envious or had disdain or lived in a lack mindset. Now I know it inside and out. And now I don't tempt or entertain toxicity. Quite the opposite. I get away from it as far as I can, as fast as I can. And at one hint of anything negative, I'm gone. I don't need to explain or defend anything. And you should apply those tools and those words because they work. One more thing before I close the video. Many people on the channel are beginning to understand what a boundary is. What is a boundary? I'll give you the quick definition. A boundary, you could say, is this wall behind me. There's a wall, and there is a wall. Technically, these are walls, but they're also benches because I'm in a beautiful environment here in Carolina. But these are boundaries. So you could say you're on level 1 up here, level 2 here, level 3 here. I'm on level 4. Technically, I'm on level 3. Wink, wink. Having said that, these are boundaries. Now, when you apply a boundary with a person, a boundary means you don't overshare information, you don't share information, you utilize gray rock, or you don't communicate with them at all, or you know your audience and you realize that everybody doesn't need to know every detail about what's going on in your life. The sooner you realize that, the better off you will be. And that's one of the concerns that you had before you met the narcissist, same as myself. You most likely treated everybody the same, which meant if you told one person one thing, you probably told other people the same thing or something similar. Can't do that these days. You need to really dial it in, and you need to know your audience, and you need to understand the narcissist is everywhere. And all they want to do is get as close to somebody who has something that they want, assimilate themselves with said person, get their dirty fangs sunken into them, boom, like a vampire, and then begin to extract. Well, when you become unextractable, when you become unhooverable, and when you get off the radar of the toxic people on the planet, i.e. the narcissists and actually worse people, you're in a great spot. Doesn't mean these negative people aren't around you. It means that you don't give them the time of day. And with 8.3 billion people on the planet, unfortunately, they will be targeting other people. As long as they don't target you, that's what matters. Now, you may say, well, what's with that, Andrew? I can't believe that you want them to target other people. I don't want the narcissist to target anybody, not one of us. I wish narcissism would be eradicated, not the people, but the behavior. Until that happens, we all need to do our parts to insulate and protect ourselves, which is why I've gone no contact years ago, and I've implemented other boundaries with other people in the last 6-7 years, and you should be doing the same thing. Everybody on this planet isn't who they appear to be. Everything isn't how it appears to be. And you need to remember this one, then I'm closing the video. Everybody, and I mean everybody, reveals themselves in time. When I say reveals themselves in time, what I'm referring to is when the chips are down or when your back's against the wall or when you really need help, who was there for you? Probably nobody. Who was there for me? Absolutely nobody. And that's why I healed the way I healed. And that's why I'm as strong as I am, because I had to lean into myself. Again, during a pandemic, left for dead, crumbled up like a sheet of paper, thrown away in the freeway, wash, rinse, repeat. But I did just fine. Was it fun? No. Was it pleasurable? No. Was it a good experience? No. Would I want to do it again? Not in a million years. And I don't wish this upon you or anybody else. So having said that, I wish that the behaviors of the narcissist would be eradicated. But until they are, we need to maintain and protect ourselves. And that's what I do, and that's why I create videos, and that's what you should be doing. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. A couple quick things. When the narcissist realizes they lost yet again, it's because they keep on chalking up the L's. L means loss, loser, losing. The narcissist is nothing but a lost cause. Now, you need to remember, the narcissist will leech on, glom on, or latch on, to anybody, and I do mean anybody who has anything, as long as they're breathing air. What you need to remember is the narcissist doesn't care about human beings as beautiful, bright, shining lights the way I care about you. The narcissist simply looks at people as appliances to use, abuse, manipulate, wash, rinse, repeat once they use anything they want to take from that person. As I shared with you earlier in that car washing example, that's what the narcissist does. They use people up like dish rags or washcloths. They don't care about people. And the sooner you realize that, the better off you will be. Love you all, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.